Hello, y'all.
Welcome back to the Witching Hour Part 2. Your host, DJ Camo Girl, and me, the Joker, the Mountain Prince of Crime. This time, we'll be telling a sequel to the previous story of Hallowed Jack. This one entitled, Be Careful What You Wish For.
You should give it a few minutes so the people can join.
You're right.
Because I am sending the link out. I'm in the process right now. There's one. We got Wolf Pup. Sweet. Give me a second. Okay. Are we ready?
Is everyone here?
Is the stream
Want
out?
to hear the story?
Is the stream lag out?
Okay, Wolf Pup's here.
Stream lag out? Is it back? Are we having any stream problems right now?
Okay. Should we start the stream?
You guys ready?
Alright, start the story.
You guys ready?
Okay.
Alright.
So, let's start the story.
Alright. And you guys can hear him, right?
Everyone can hear me, right?
Alright.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. It was Halloween night. My two youngest children went to go out for trick-or-treating. I called my oldest downstairs. As a recently divorced mother, I had to cover the slack my husband had left behind. So I was exhausted from working. This being my only night off in a while, I needed as much rest as I could get. Sweetie, do you mind taking your siblings out tonight? She was 17 and moody, so I wasn't surprised when she rolled her eyes at my request. But Mom, I want to go to a party with my friends, she exclaimed. I looked at her as she crossed her arms and stood there, defiant of my simple task. Either you take the twins out or you're grounded for 3 weeks. She was clearly irritated at my ultimatum, but I had no choice. I called for her siblings. They ran to the living room excitedly in costume. As they were leaving, I heard her grumble something in her breath as they left the doors, which sounded a bit like, I wish you were dead. An hour had passed since they left. Trick-or-treaters came and went, but after some time, the night was still and silent. I sat there on the couch, watching a horror movie marathon. Before I knew it, there was a knock at the door. It was my daughter. Panicked. She said, Mom, I turned away for just a second. Then when I looked back, the twins were gone. A rush of emotions overtook me. I was furious at my daughter for losing her younger siblings, but also feared the worst. It was a feeling only a parent could understand the situation. We rushed out the door to the car in such a hurry we neglected to notify the police. Soon a frantic search began for my babies. With each passing second, my heart sank more and more as they were nowhere in sight. In the distance, I heard the sound of crying. It was familiar. The voice was reminiscent of my son. We approached where the sound was coming from. There, a body lying on the ground. He knelt next to it, crying. As we got closer, I saw it was my youngest daughter. He turned and saw us, rushing over to his big sister, wrapping his arms around her waist, pressing his face against her, crying. I went over to the lifeless body of my little princess and picked her in my arms. Cradling her body was cold to the touch. If only I was there to protect her. I closed my eyes with tears streaming down my face. The next thing I knew, I was in my living room lying on the couch, letting out a sigh of relief, realizing it had only been a horrific, realistic nightmare. As I sat there, still a bit shaken from the nightmare, I jumped at the sound of the doorbell but calmed down. When I realized it was probably just another trick-or-treater. Getting up from the couch, I grabbed the bowl of candy from the top of the table, walked over to the door and opened it. Standing out on the front porch was a little boy not much older than 8, in a little homemade ghost costume. His mother stood on the lawn waiting for him. "Trick or treat," he said. I smiled softly at the child and picked up a handful of candy, dropping it into his bag. "Thank you," he replied before hopping to the ground and eagerly racing over to his mother. I closed the door behind myself and sat the candy back on the table. Taking my place back on the couch, I began thinking about when I used to take my kids out on Halloween night, wearing fun costumes and getting goodies from the neighbors. Soon, a knock on the door snapped me back to reality. As I had before, I grabbed the bowl of candy and headed to the door. I opened the door expecting to see another child with their parent. To my surprise, nothing. There was no one in sight. I was certain that's what I heard. I closed the door once more and headed towards the living room, setting down the candy and taking a seat on the sofa, wondering if it was all my imagination that I heard a knock. Things only got weirder when I heard an ear-piercing noise which sounded like sharp metal scraping across glass. I was startled by the sudden noise and I went to check out what it could be. Walking towards my back door, I flipped on the light switch, pulled back the blinds and peered outside. Once more, nothing. But upon further investigation, I noticed there was a large streak running down my sliding glass door. There was no way I could have imagined that. I was starting to get worried for my own safety. At this point, it seemed less like a harmless prank and more like something serious. I turned up the porch light and made my way to the phone. Picking it up, I quickly dialed 911. Soon a police dispatcher picked up the line. 911, what's your emergency? She asked. I tried to speak clearly, but my voice was a bit shaken. I think there's someone outside my house. I think they have a weapon. I heard a sound like metal dragging on glass, and it appears someone has dragged a blade across my window. Please send help. Before I could finish my statement, the power shut off. Frantically making my way up the stairs in the dark, I hid in my room and quickly locked the door. I stayed low to the ground, waiting for the police to arrive. Time seemed to be at a standstill. The whole time, scared, I prayed to God that it'd be alright and Conch would be here soon. Sirens sounded in the distance, soon followed by red and blue lights flashing through my window. Having heard a knock at the door, I cautiously got up to the door. Leaving my room before heading downstairs, I looked through the peephole and saw 2 officers standing in front of my door. I opened it, letting them in, investigating the doors behind, closing the door behind. The first officer spoke. "Ma'am, do you mind if I ask you a few questions while my partner investigates the backyard?" I nodded my head, obliging. The second officer, with a flashlight in hand, headed to my back door and began looking at the sliding glass. Soon after, he headed out back to look for anything. I led the first officer over to my living room and we both sat down. He pulled out a pen and pad to take notes of the situation. "Did you actually see anyone in your backyard?" I shook my head. I didn't see anybody. He continued to ask me questions before we were interrupted by a loud racket coming from out back. The officer stopped and drew his gun, making his way out back to check on his partner. I followed behind with a flashlight to help him see in the vast darkness. As we opened the door and stepped outside into my backyard, what we saw made my blood run cold. It was the other officer, with his head smashed in, his jaw located, one of his eyeballs popping out of the socket, hanging from an optic nerve. Brain matter and blood were splattered over my patio. We searched together for whoever was responsible, but all we found was a sickle sticking into my power box. Sudden rustling drew our attention. The officer pointed his gun in the direction of it. "When I tell you to, go inside, lock the door, and hide," he whispered to me. Nodding my head in cooperation with his instructions, a tall, shadowy figure emerged from the trees. The officer muttered, "Now!" I quickly went into the house, locking the door behind me before retreating back into my room, barricading it. In the distance, I heard gunshots. It didn't last long. Shortly afterward, an eerie hush fell over my house. A deep sense of dread overtook me. The silence was soon broken as I heard the muffled sound of glass shattering, followed by heavy footsteps. They were making their way around the house, seemingly in search of something. The heavy footsteps began heading upstairs. The wood creaked loudly underneath the weight of whoever was inside my house. As they drew closer and closer, I could feel my heart sink in my chest as my breathing became heavier. My heart seemed to jump out of my chest as the sound of banging behind my door made its way into my ears. They found me. But what would I do? I thought, my mind racing. The door caved in and I jumped, terrified that the only thing protecting me from this monster was now gone. Faint moonlight allowed me to see it was the same shadowy figure from outside that had made its way into my room. Beginning to investigate my room, presumably for me. As they were distracted, I darted for the door, making my way out of the room, seemingly unscathed, under the impression I could just get out of this alive. When suddenly a terrible pain spread through my body. It felt as if something sharp had torn through my shoulder. In one swift motion, I was pulled backward. The blade had ripped out of my shoulder as I hit the ground at the feet of a towering assailant. I hit the ground at the feet of a towering silhouette. I looked up at them. There was enough light in the room for me to make out a bit of my inhuman assailant. They were tall with the hood covering their face, making it nearly impossible to see their face. Grabbing a hold of me with their cold hands, they began to drag me out of the room. I struggled to break free of their grasp, but I was beginning to weaken as blood flowed down from my side, from where the gash in my shoulder was. The world around me began to fade and I lost consciousness. I awoke lying in the yard. I looked around and saw the officers who were dispatched to help me hung up on posts. Both were mutilated. The one who died while investigating the back hurt, while the other questioned me with a gaping tear in his abdomen, his guts and organs spilling out. His throat slashed with fresh blood still flowing down his neck. I noticed a third post there. Soon things began to make themselves clear to me. This was my fate. This is what that monster had planned for me. With no effort at all, it hoisted me into the air. When I felt that stake pierce my body, the pain was indescribable. Standing there in front of me, a beam of moonlight fell upon them, enabling me to clearly see the face of my executioner. A man, with an appearance akin to that of an old scarecrow, with blood-soaked cloth covering his body. The only part of him remotely human were his piercing eyes, which were white and lifeless, showing through the holes in his mask. As my life began to fade, blood gushing out of the holes in my body, I looked over at the other officers' disfigured bodies and noticed a few crows picking them apart like some sort of grim bird feeder. I took in my final breath, thinking to myself, I guess my daughter got her wish.
Dang. I love that story. What do you guys think?
I messed up a lot of it.
Oh, you're fine. Dude, if I read that, I'd probably be more tongue-twisted and not be able to talk. Jesus. Power Turtle, thumbs up. Anybody else? How about you, Wolf Pup? Said we had about 4 or 5 people watching during it. What do you all think about that story that Joker had read to us? Amazing job.
The question is, did it live up to Wolf Pup's expectations?
I mean, the first part of it, like, when the twins died, or the one twin died in the imagination, or in the nightmare.
What about it?
That part had me. I don't know, I love kids, dude, so that first part was just like, oh my god.
Like I said, the story of Be Careful What You Wish For was written in a moment of frustration.
Yeah.
So
I should start reading that.
I know we don't get to see Jack until the end of the story, like the first one, but Wolf, are you still here?
Yeah, Wolf, are you still here? I mean, we had 5 people like the stream so far, so. Yeah, is Wolf Pup still here?
I'm glad the first part of the story really kind of fucked with you, because that was the whole point of that first part, was just to kind of just really fuck with you at the beginning. I thought it'd be fun just to throw in a little twist like that.
Who else is here?
Now, I did have an idea for a third story that would show the daughter after her discovering her mother's, grisly death scheme.
Yeah.
But I never got around to writing it.
I mean, I think it would be an amazing idea.
I think this was around the time when I was writing the creepypasta for Terror Skull, for my ex-girlfriend's character, which was a romance turned bad.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to try to do with the one story I'm writing. Ow!
Story, she kind of like came with the idea, and I kind of helped flesh it out. So,
You're a bitch.
story follows
Stay.
young teenage girl, 16-17-year-old Lisa Dracomir, in high school when she falls in love with a guy named Derek. And Derek, kind of standoffy, kick-back kind of guy, but they get together. And we find out that he's cheating on her with her best friend.
Oh, God.
I think her name was Beth. And they're on a camping trip, and I didn't get very far, but what would happen next is that she gets killed and tossed into a nearby stream, because for some odd reason she gave the character of Terror Skull the power to control water and earth.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sense of that, because I know she said that she died and came back about a bit horribly disfigured with sharp teeth, and proceeds to tear out her boyfriend's heart and eat it.
Cool. I mean, is that not cool or is that cool?
I mean, I find the idea of cannibalism to be very disturbing.
It's not that.
But,
It's not I find it, amazing, cool, she killed him and eat his brain or whatever.
I think he deserved to get killed. He was written to be a very, very kind of standoffy, kind of fucked up character.
Yeah, pretty much.
As for Terror Skull, she's very big on her. My ex was very big on Slenderman, so she wanted Terror to have connections to Slenderman. And I figure for the whole nature thing, she would be resurrected by a sort of godlike character that goes by the name of Mother Nature.
Yeah.
And she would be the one to give her the earth and water powers, and then the curse to just eat organs and shit to have sustenance. And she prefers eating hearts and shit.
I mean, if you can go into Google Drive right now and we can edit the one story we were so close on finishing. Which one was that?
That was the country one.
Yeah. How close are we to finishing that?
Did you go back and listen to the things we're discussing in the previous stream about the character of Hollow Jack and how he came to be, the origin of the character, not just the origin and story, but like the origin of how I came to write him. And there were, various things that I talked about, like why he lived in Minnesota, how his name came to be, which I believe I did explain in the end of the story.
Yeah, you did.
And I also explained how his concept came to be.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you haven't seen it and you want to save you some time, we can go back over everything again.
I mean, also, like later in time, we can record them both as like a separate video each. That would be all up to you.
You say what now?
That we can go record them as like a separate video each. And not like have them in a stream.
What you mean for the witching hour?
I'm saying for like the Hollow Jack ones. Like part 1 and part 2.
Yeah.
But if we do
Well,
that,
I mean,
if we do that, I kind of want to do like some type of visualization of it.
Yeah. I think Wolf was around for when I gave the physical description of Hollow Jack. He's about, it's here, 6'1", with say about broad shoulders, not a muscular build, but he's also not like fat or thin, not like a very well kind of built frame. Faded brown hair, white eyes, pale white skin, hidden beneath his kind of scarecrow exterior.
So wait. Faded light brown hair, is it long or short?
Short.
And he's a teen, right?
He was 19 when he died.
So, would you say teen or young adult for, like, Sims?
I would say young adult.
Okay.
He's 19, so he's a young adult.
I mean, I could try creating him in The Sims.
I'm gonna go here back.
Let's see. Nah, I was just thinking of like creating the character. In Sims.
I told you, right, for your horror story, you know, just write out a rough draft.
Are you looking at my camera?
At what?
The video my video chat camera.
Why?
Do you want shorter hair?
I think that hairstyle would work for him.
Okay, do you think his face should be like rounder? Or what kind of face type should he have?
I would try and give him one with like maybe a strong kind of chin. You good?
See anyone you like?
I don't think a longer face would really work for him. I think, hold on, stop. Right, down. Okay, well, this choose skin tone too. No, not that one, the other one over. Yeah, we'll try that one. Okay, that looks weird. That's horrifying.
You think it's something like that?
Oh my god, that's horrifying. What are you doing to him? I know he's, like, supposed to be freaky, but, like, that's just, you know, him with his, like, hood and his mask on.
Is that any better?
Okay, don't give him, like, overly bushy eyebrows.
I'm not. I don't like these.
Excuse me.
But
I'm sorry about that. My nose.
do you think this skin tone works?
You might want to try a little bit lighter than that. Give him pale, like, vampire kind of skin, you know?
I could try. Let me take off skin details. Let's see.
Yeah, no, that is not pale.
I'm trying. Creating Sims takes... There you go.
Why did you turn him to Jared Leto's Joker? No tattoos.
Do you want impaler?
I think that could work.
Okay. Is this good, like a face structure? Do you want like smaller features, bigger features?
Starting to look like Edward from Twilight. You might want to change that a bit. Yeah, give him piercing white eyes.
Is that like that alright?
Ones that look like they'd be staring through your soul.
I mean, isn't it supposed to look like that?
Yes, they're supposed to be piercing white eyes.
Or do you want something like that?
His eyes make him look a little bit too humanish, I suppose. No.
That one don't have one.
I'll make it a little bit lighten that up. What the hell did you do? Why is his eyes like that? Why are his eyes like that?
There you go.
What in the... Why does he have oversized eyes?
Actually, tell me if you like one.
Ah. Okay, stop. What? Okay, why are you changing skin tone now?
It's changing eyes. I don't like any of them.
Quality.
Here, let me just go back on eyes, because I don't like it. Go back. Right there?
You could use those eyes. Okay. Stop adjusting them. Stop adjusting them.
I'm done.
You might want to mess with his facial structure.
How so?
Oh man, I would move it in more like that. Yeah, maybe like that. Yeah. Maybe stare at his nose a little bit more. Yeah, that would work. Okay, Doug, what are you trying to do?
I don't know. That look alright? And then, oh my god, it's body type now.
What are you doing? Why does he have clothing like that?
I mean, I think
that could work.
I don't like this outfit. Do you?
Well, no, that does not fit him at all.
What kind of clothing does he wear?
Nothing from this time period.
Okay.
I would try something with like a hood if you could.
With what?
A hood.
Let's see what I got. Let the stream know what's going on.
Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my nose tonight. No.
I can change colors of shit.
I'm not talking about just the color, I'm just talking about, like, what it looks like in general. Nope.
You can also go and download more CC if I need to.
Let's hear. Do we just have, like, regular clothing, or can we have something that looks more like, not conventional?
I'm looking.
My nose.
I got flannels, tank tops, t-shirts. Business casual. Hoodie like this.
Yeah, no.
Hoodie.
No.
Turtleneck. That.
Why would he have a turtleneck?
You think we could just throw him in a t-shirt or something?
What the heck kind of serial killer is going around with a freaking turtleneck?
Okay.
No. I'm sorry, that hoodie made him look too much like a bro.
I could put him in a leather jacket.
No. As cool as a leather jacket would be, I don't think a leather jacket would actually fit him at all.
I can make his body type smaller.
Well, actually, I said he was a little bit, he wasn't a thin guy. He wasn't muscular, he wasn't thin, but he also wasn't fat. He's got kind of a bulky build. No, he looks like Tomska now!
Okay, better yet.
Don't say about like that.
Like that? Or do you want to pick one of these?
I think that's... No, hold on. Try the one below it.
Oh, that one?
Yeah, I think that would work.
Okay. I can add
Like
him.
I said, he's not like muscular or ripped, like being like Batman. He's, about a decently built guy.
Yeah. Alright. Here we go.
Hey, Britt, it's a country character. Like you.
I like this.
That does not fit him at all. He looks like a high school goth.
Okay, how about this? Okay, how about that?
Yeah, no, he's not a fan of any of those characters. If anything, he would fight all of those characters. Even Pennywise.
Hi. You see anything you like? Freaking, how about this?
What the? Saw his torso disappear for a second.
Sinning winning. There you go.
No. Stop that right now, Brittany.
Or some ripped jeans. There you go. Beast mode.
Was that a show that said Train Speed Goku?
Apparently so. Here you go. He's done.
No, stop. Why does he look like a redneck?
Oh my god.
He looks like Larry the Cable Guy.
I fucking know what you want.
But thin. Why did you turn my supernatural serial killer into Larry the Cable Guy after Jenny Craig? What the? Why does he look? No, stop. Stop. No.
There you go, leather jacket.
Why are you turning him to Ghost Rider?
Okay. T-shirt.
No.
Okay. This.
No. No. Nope.
Betty Boop.
No. What? Fine. No. 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 Stop. This isn't working. Alright. Stop it. Stop. Why are you doing this?
I don't know what you want from me.
I want your best, and I will accept nothing less.
What about this?
Are we trying to make him look very modern and less like he's going to kill you?
I mean, I don't know.
Should we try and make a modern attempt at Hallow Jack, or should we try and keep him more faithful to what I would imagine it look like?
I mean, I'm trying. I don't know what you want.
A cloak. I want a cloak. Give him a cloak with a hood.
I don't have any. Okay, fine. Sims 4cc male cloak with a hood.
I've officially tipped her off.
Okay. No, none of that'll work. Fuck that. No.
A fun little tidbit for anyone who's here and anyone who gives a shit. My favorite part of both stories is the end, So, the part where the mom sees the officers being picked apart like a grim bird feeder. It's my favorite part of the
Okay, how about that?
sequel. And the first
There you
one.
go. There's your fucking cloak.
What? No, that one does not work at all.
Oh my god, I'm looking.
Is that the Doctor Strange cloak?
Sims 4 CC male cloak with a hood.
Okay. Let me show you what kind of cloak he would. Why are you giving me Marvel shit? God damn it.
Here you go. He can wear a female cloak.
No. You are not turning Hallow Jack into a woman.
I mean, I can.
Why are you going to make Hallow Jacqueline? Or Hallow Jackie?
I'm looking. I'm not seeing anything. You know what? How about I make my own?
You're gonna make your own version of Hallow Jack.
No. He kills with a sickle, right?
Yes, he uses sickles.
I don't. I have a bat. I have a knife. I have a freaking bat stake. Frickin' cane. Frickin'.
The kind of cloak you wear is a more like kind of cloak.
I can't find any fucking cloaks. Here you go. I had 2 fucking sites. Is anybody actually paying attention to the stream anymore? Mm-hmm. Here. Here. There you go.
What'd you do? Okay. No.
Okay, here you go. How about that?
Are those tomahawks?
I don't know.
Those are not sickles.
Eh.
Those are canes. It looks like he just got ripped out of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Shut up.
Wait, which Sims do you have?
Sims 4.
Okay.
Should we end the witching hour?
Probably.
Or should I, like, make another stream? So this one doesn't get blocked. Alright. Yeah, guys. I'm gonna make another stream so this one doesn't get blocked. Because, yeah, bye.